been chilling.
Okay.
It's been
How was
chilling.
Crunch?
It's good, bro. It's like I know majority of my buddies they go to GB3 and stuff, but for me
Mhm.
personally, I just don't like that. I don't like that big atmosphere of
Right.
you know what I mean. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just too much going on. So it's like low key. I'd say Crunch is low key. People, get their workouts in and they dip. No socializing. There's like
Mhm.
an outside, and then they got obviously an inside, and then they got a track up top, which is pretty cool. But it's only $9 a month, so I
Okay,
was
that's
like,
pretty
shit, I
good.
might as well. Yeah, bro. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
it's been fun.
I'm the GB3 guy. I was like last summer I got into boxing with some of the homies. I got one of my boys, one of my best friends. He's actually a pro MMA fighter.
Oh
And he's
shit.
been trying to get me to come in there for years with him just to work out and train.
Right.
So I finally took it up last summer. So I stopped though. I haven't been since like October. I got into I was working at UPS, like I would do it every season, like for the seasonal stuff just to help out like during Christmas time. So
Right. Right.
they called me back this year. I went and did that, and after I got done, I was like, I think I'm gonna just go train on my own at GB3 because they got the bag. Because over at the boxing gym I was at, it was 100 a month, so I'm like that was killing my pockets. So it's good though. It's fun to do. I got like 6, 7 months experience. But I'm not, like I'm a music guy. I'm not looking to be a fighter, a professional fighter. So
Right.
I just do it just to stay in shape, just to work out, keep the hands up, of course.
Yeah, and that's even a good way to, like whenever you're going through, like whenever you got hard times or whatever, kick the bag and stuff. That's a good way to
Hmm.
relieve the stress, especially with the music deal.
Right,
Um,
right.
I came across Twitter one day and I saw, um, who's it, Markel? I think it was
Yeah,
Markel or
Markel.
Sellers. Yeah,
Hmm.
one of the boys. They retweeted one of your things, and I was following up on your page, and I was like, oh shoot, I want to get to know this dude. Like, he's a local boy.
Hmm.
I want to from I want to get to know him more. Um, so yeah, bro, let's get into it. For the people that don't know you, but they should know you, uh, just give them like a little bit of your background, who you are, if you feel comfortable, about expression, how you were raised and brought up and stuff. Just bang it out.
Hmm.
Whatever you
Yeah,
got,
so
brother.
I go by the name of biseeya. A lot of people get it confused on how to pronounce it. They think it's like biseeya or biseeya, but it's biseeya. Growing up was, it was like nothing like really crazy, anything like that. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I was one of those dudes who grew up in the hood. Oh yeah, house got shot up every day, this and that. But obviously we didn't grow up super rich or anything. Just middle class. My father just retired this year. He was a bus driver for Facts for the city of Fresno. My mom, she was like a buyer. Right now she works for like the SCCD for the college
The
community centers.
Right, the school, yeah, like through the
Yeah,
college and stuff.
she's there. Like she's been a buyer. She would jump from job to job though, because she'd have a hard time at other places though too. So she was always like just going different places. Nothing like her like struggling or getting fired like that.
Right.
Um. So I mean, where I grew up like Fig Loop area, kind of between there, and I don't know if you know where Lions Park is at or Logan Park.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know where that's at.
It's a little bit over there, so it's nothing really too crazy. There'd be like some stuff going down every now and then, but nothing like
Nothing major.
like yeah, nothing major like this and that. I mean, really, my whole life grew up just playing sports. That was my thing. Just like every other kid, you grow up thinking, I'm gonna be a professional basketball, football, baseball player, whatever it is.
Right.
As you get older, get to school, reality kicks in.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. Yeah.
so the school wasn't the thing for me. So football was like my passion growing up. I tried the fighting thing actually a while back. My dad tried to get me into it. My dad was a Navy guy. He was a
Oh
Navy
wow.
SEAL. So with him, it was kind of like the tough love. Um, when I was younger, as I got older, my dad was always surprisingly been the lesser strict parent. Of course, the mother is always, she's more the protective one. My dad was kind of like, when I got to a certain age, like, like I'm gonna let you do your own thing. Like you got to get out there and experience stuff for yourself.
Really.
So, but yeah, I always played football growing up. I went to four different schools growing up, so I bounced around school to school a lot. Which we didn't move or anything. It was just feel like I would just have hard times in elementary school, so my mom was always taking me out and having to put me somewhere else, which I think was frustrating for her. I went to
Right.
Fig Garden Elementary for like, which is kind of where I live right behind Fig Loop Park.
Right.
So I went there like kindergarten. Obviously, you don't remember much from kindergarten. Like the only thing I remember that year was 9/11. That's when I was in kindergarten. I was
Yeah.
4 years old. And then I went there for like the first 2 weeks. Then I went to school over on the west side. My grandma's address at Sunset Elementary. Um, that was where I think I started getting where I was getting into trouble at a young age. A lot, just going to school, meeting a lot of friends that's over there from the west side area.
Right.
You know, doing that. If anything crazy happened in my life, it was somewhere around my grandma's because she was over on that side of town. So it was a lot of crazy stuff where she lived at over in Chandler Park. Every now and then, like me and my mom, we would go stay with her and live with her. I'd go live with her, as I got older, getting kicked out back and forth, just being stupid. I ended up going to Fresno Christian for a little bit too, to a private
Mhm.
school. My mom tried that out. I didn't like it at all. I wasn't comfortable with it. I felt like it was just always like being real. They would discriminate against me a lot. Like I got in
Yeah.
trouble one time because I think we had like some kind of event going to school. I went there like fourth and fifth grade. Sunset. I was at the school Sunset from first, second, and third grade. And then my mom took me out of there because I was getting into so much trouble over there. So she was like, we're gonna try to put me in private school and see how that works out. That was cool. I liked it. It was fun because most of the kids that went there is a bunch of rich white kids. Um,
Right. Right.
what was fun was every year at the end of the school year, like the last day of school, we'd go to someone's house and one of the kids,
Hit you,
I
huh?
forget his name was Braden Jones. I think he ended up going to Clovis North. Uh,
Oh, I wait. Braden Jones. Wait, I think I know who
his
you.
dad his
Does he have
dad
a
was Bobby
sister?
Jones. I think
Does he have
he
a
has a
sister?
sister. I
Madison
forgot her
Jones.
name. I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and
Yeah.
his dad used to play for the Mets and the Padres. His dad was in the league like back in the '90s. Bobby Jones.
Right.
And so we would go to his house like every year. They had like this fat house on the way up to like Bryant, up to the lake. They had like a race, like they had like a full on like racetrack in the back. They had like a built-in trampoline in the ground, a pool. So they took all the kids there. So obviously transferring from going to a little school on the west side over to Fresno Christian was a big transition. And then after that, my mom took me right back out because I kind of was already stuck in like my ways from being like in other public schools. So I would get in
Right.
trouble for like the stupidest stuff. I got in trouble because I took the paper that comes on the straw, like the wrapper. I took it off and threw it over like the little staircase or the stairwell. And the principal called me and they called my parents up there. And my parents like they were pissed, like thinking I did something serious. And then when they found out it was because I threw a straw wrapper, my mom, she was going off. Because
Yeah. Something
my
they do like that.
mom's, yeah, my mom is Mexican, so I'm mixed with a Mexican and black. My dad is black. My mom's straight from Mexico, so anybody that's wondering, because I know I'm super super light skinned. But yeah, so she came up there just like cussing everybody out, and after that, she was like, "All right, we got to take them out." Ended up going back to Star Elementary, which is where kind of led me into like, because that's the Bullard area, and that's where I went to high school, to Bullard, which is how I know Markel and Marcellus.
Right.
Went to Tenaya Middle School. At Bullard though is that's where I ended up kind of losing my love for football and finding like my passion for music. And it was just like I said, due to like my grades being bad. I didn't care, like you don't really care until like your senior year because you're like, all right, I'm gonna graduate. Like I'm trying to, I'm not trying to get laughed at and be the one kid that doesn't graduate. I think we did pretty good. I think we really had like two or three kids that didn't graduate, which happened to be some of my friends that I knew. Of course, it's got to be somebody you always know, but
Right. Absolutely.
I think my junior year is when I ended up getting kicked off because I was starting to miss after school workouts and like lifting sessions and practices because I was going to tutoring. Because the teachers were calling my mom and stuff like, hey, like he's doing real bad. Like if it continues, he's not going to be able to play sports. He's not gonna be able to play football or not graduate next year. Um, and they was even talking about trying to hold me back. So I was like, I'm
Mm,
not doing that.
mm,
I'm not about to be 19, 20 years old as a senior.
right.
Um, so I think after that, I went to practice one morning. We went to zero period. Coach was like getting everybody's ass. Um, Coach Arax, which he's actually, once you leave high school, he's like the nicest guy in the world. Just while you're there, you hate him so much. But
Right.
he ended up getting on a bunch of guys that were missing practices, and pretty much there was like 10 of us. It was all the same reason. We were trying to keep our grades up because it's like nowadays, like if you don't have the grades, what's the point of you playing sports? They're not gonna let you play. So
Absolutely.
we uh we had to go like do gases in the field. I'm talking like 5 in the morning, bro. Like the middle of January, it was cold. I'm out there with like shorts and like a t-shirt on, no hoodie, because I'm thinking we're gonna be inside working out in the weight room where they keep the heater on and it's hot, you're sweating. So we do that. Um, at this point, our season had been over for like a month and a half, 2 months. So I'm like lazy. I got back into like going home and just chilling, like not even continuing working out. I'm eating junk food. So I'm on the field dying, like laying in the middle of the ground. I come in late. I'm like the last one to walk in, and I leave my cleats on. And we weren't supposed to walk in the weight room with cleats on because you got mud and stuff. So coach would get pissed off. So I'm like slamming my feet, like walking in, and he comes and gets in my ass. Which at the time there were other players with cleats on, but he came. There was already mud on the floor, and he came and got in my face and blamed me for it. And he put his finger in my face, so I didn't like that. So I ended up talking shit back to him. Was like, like if you this and that, like that's why you can't beat Edison. That's why you can't win another championship because you suck. You're a bad coach. Um, and he tried to like rush at me, so my stupid ass, I tried to grab a weight like I was gonna hit him, and then like a bunch of guys just grabbed me, and then that was it from there. Like it was over, and then like just the rest of my junior year, I was just messing around, just getting into trouble. I was going out to parties and stuff in high school. Um, and then one day, my senior year, my boy JT, my best friend, he was always known as like the school rapper. He'd been rapping, making music since middle school. Um, we were at the Edison Bullard football game, and every time there'd be a football game, they would all just stand in a circle, have like a little cipher, just rap, just for fun. So I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna just jump in and try it, and I went in. And then I think my boy was pretty shocked, so he pulled me to the side. Was like, "Hey, like you should come to the studio with us, bro. Like we about to record this weekend." And so I was like, "All right, for sure. Like I'll slide." We ended up going. I didn't expect to record because he had told me you just kind of just to see how they work in the environment. And they ended up putting me on the spot and making me freestyle, which I was at the time I was terrible at freestyle, and I feel like I still am. I'm more like pen and paper, but
Right.
it was like a rush though, and I ended up enjoying it. And they were like, we'll give you like 2 minutes. Like you got 2 minutes to write down the best verse that you can. I ended up doing it, and the verse was good. It's just the way that it came out sounded dumb. I was real nervous on the mic. I was messing words up. I was off beat. But you go back and I listen to stuff like that from now to see how much I've transitioned and like the progression I've made. I kind of look at myself and always like, have those like little proud moments just to see how far I've come as an artist.
Absolutely.
Because before it was just I started out dropping music on SoundCloud, and I want to say like pretty much like the last summer is when I really started getting noticed. With my single Show and Tell, I had recorded last summer actually at Celis in I recorded at Celis's house in LA. Because you know Nick, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Nick, that's
Yeah.
my
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
engineer.
I know. Yeah.
Actually, Celis is kind of how that we got introduced because back in 2017, I went to a party and Celis was like, "Hey, like we should do a song together." We hadn't made any music at the time together, so I was like, "Yeah, I'm down. Like, let's do it." And Nick was there. Sure, Sway, Donovan, all them, and
Yeah. I know all those boys. Yeah.
he introduced me to like the whole team, to Mac, to everybody. So I got introduced at that party, and then like that Sunday, ended up going over to Nick's house recording, and I don't think I've ever sounded as good like on a song quality wise, like ever in my life than I have when I first recorded with Nick, and I kind of just been sticking with him since then. And then so last year they ended up moving to LA, and then last summer I went to the house to record this song Show and Tell.
Right.
I ended up releasing it like August August 7th. I released it, and it kind of just started going crazy. Like I think the streaming numbers right now, like overall, was like 60,000, which is my most played song ever. The video is almost like 10,000 views. So I ended up doing that, and I took it to Say Cheese, and I put it on there, um, because I have like a manager and everything now. So I've been getting like just this past year alone, I've been getting super serious with the, like with the quarantine and everything that happened last
Yeah.
year. Um, I guess still going on if you want to call it that. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, so I just shot the video and like I don't know, like like the city just ended up showing a lot of love to it. I've been kind of sticking with the song, kind of pushing it. Of course, releasing new tracks on the way. I've only released two new songs. I released one last week. We're supposed to shoot a video too, and then I think in about a couple weeks I'm actually supposed to go back down to LA with Nick and get a session because I got something like real exciting with this artist I've been trying to work with out of LA. Um, his name is Bino Rideau. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
what was his name, brother? What was his
His
name?
name is Bino Rideau. He
No,
had a mixtape with Nipsey Hussle a couple years ago called No Pressure.
I
He's
know
kind of
this.
been
I know
blown
no
up.
press.
Yeah, he had a
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know any of the songs on there. He had like a song called Effortless on there. I don't know if you ever heard it. It's with Nipsey, but I've been a fan of the guy for like 4 or 5 years now. Like because I was a huge fan of Nipsey. Like I got it like tatted right here, just like the TMC thing and
Right.
everything. Like when he
Right.
died, so that was like one of my when I first heard him, I kind of stuck with him. So as far as like musical influences, it's like Nipsey and Kendrick, like my two favorite. Um, and of course, like I'm a huge like Snoop Dogg fan. Like that's like another one. Like to me, someone that's like who do I think like the greatest is just in my opinion, I would say Snoop. Over. Of course, you still got respect for like Pac and Biggie and stuff, but Snoop was
Right.
always my favorite out of like that era, the '90s era. Um, It's kind of like, because they had like that grittiness and like kind of, not caring, doing what they was doing back
Absolutely.
in the day. They started like the whole gangster rap era.
It was that real.
Which
It was that
obviously
real
that's good.
talk.
What was that?
They're rapping about the real, especially in the
Yeah,
'90s.
no, for
Biggie
sure.
and Tupac. And
Yeah, for
one thing
sure.
I didn't want to cut you off or anything. You're flowing. Um, but speaking on that, if I know there's different genres and stuff of music and different types,
Hmm.
whatever country, rap, whatever, hip hop, R&B. Um, if Biggie and Tupac, I would even throw in Mac Dre. If they were
Yeah,
still
Mac too,
alive,
for sure.
yeah, if they were still alive till this day, do you think music would be like different? Like you wouldn't see these like Lil Uzi Vert, like you wouldn't see these like Lil Uzi Verts, like the mumble. You know what I mean? You know
Hmm.
what I'm trying to get at. If if
Yeah,
they were
I know a lot
alive, do you
of
think music would be different?
people always say that like you always see bigger artists saying, you don't think like the guys like the Futures and Lil Uzi and Young Thugs and the Migos would be around, but it's kind of like um excuse me. I mean, you really don't know. I would say, yeah, in a way. I think it would be, but at the same time, not really, because I see it as the guys like Tupac and Biggie and the Mac Dre's, all those guys, they were the first to do what they did as far as sound wise and having their own sound. So um, I think either way, every couple of years, there's always going to be something new coming around with music. Just kind of like like the last half a decade, the last 5 years, it's been really 10, I guess you could say. It's kind of been like the mumble rap era that's kind of been
Right.
running it. Everybody was hating on it, and now everybody's running with it. This is the thing to do, because it's more about like a
That
hook
beat, the
and a good
instrumentals.
beat. Yeah,
Right.
as long as you got a good beat and a catchy hook or like a nice cadence. Um, so I think in a way, I think they would still be around, but um, you never know. I think rap
Right.
would still be. Obviously, I think it would be different a little bit. But at the same time, it's like, you have guys like Jay-Z and Snoop and Dr. Dre, all these guys who were around in that era who are still here now, and they kind of, you look at them, they kind of support these new guys, because it's like
Right.
I'm watching an interview with Snoop, where he kind of supports a lot of the guys that a lot of the OGs, the older guys that would hate on, and say like, oh, this is trash, like if Pac and Big were still here, this wouldn't be around. But it's like, we don't really know that. Um, so It's kind of
Absolutely.
something like I've always sat on, and I kind of actually I'm glad you asked that though, because I did think about this actually a couple weeks ago. But I don't think it would be drastically different. Um, like I said, because you still got some of these OGs who are here now that were around back then, and they kind of support what the newer guys are doing now. Like I said, every now and then, every few years, a sound has to change. Because obviously, now in 2021, you don't want to still keep listening to the boom bap, and you
Right.
want something new and fresh. So, and I think I would say sometime within this decade, now that we're in the 2020s, somebody else will come out with something new, a newer sound. I feel
Absolutely.
like
It's
I'm
all
already
creative
kind of,
now.
yeah, I feel like I'm already kind of hearing it. Which is like my thing. I'm kind of more sticking to like the West Coast R&B thing rather than
Yeah.
the gangster rap, only because
Hmm.
not saying because I didn't grow up living like that, because I have had my fair share of stuff. I've been to jail and everything doing stupid shit. But I just don't feel the need to really portray that because, like, for one, like a lot of these dudes talk about this, and
They're
like
not
we see,
about it.
like Bobby Schmurder, for example, who just got out, incriminated
Yeah.
himself, and even like I just seen something the other day, like Snapchat is gonna start working with, like law enforcement, because you got people on there, who do what they do. They go in there and they sell their weed, whatever they want to do on there, or probably trying to catch minors underage drinking, whatever it is, whatever the case might be. But I feel
Right.
like it's already enough of that going around, especially in Fresno. I feel like everybody, I
At
call it
least
like,
one person.
bro, I know at least like 100 of them, bro. Everybody's trying
Yeah.
to be like Mozzie, if you will.
Yeah, bro.
And it's kind of like, like
Right.
knowing a lot of these dudes growing up with them. It's like, bro, like none of y'all have ever killed anybody. You've never shot at anyone. So I'm kind of like, and then plus, I think just looking at it, it's like you don't really see people in the music industry succeed rapping off that stuff for so long. Only so little, like the YGs and like the gang. Like I said, like with the gangster rap back in the '90s, like that stuff isn't really a thing anymore. So it's like I feel like you got to know how to be versatile and be more
Hmm.
open to a crowd where everybody can listen to you. Even like one of my other favorite artists, like Ty Dolla Sign or like even Roddy
Yeah.
Rich, like what they're
Dollar.
doing. But I feel like Ty Dolla Sign is really slept on, and kind of like reading his background. And I know engineer, this guy, his name is DJZ. He goes by the name of Mixed by Z on Instagram. He's from Fresno, and he's one of his engineers. And he tells me all these stories of how Ty Dolla Sign grew up in like the Rolling 20 Bloods area out of LA and South Central. And he's like, but you never hear him talk about it in his music. All his music is like R&B. He sings, so it's like, I feel like it's kind of where music is going. It's kind of no need for that anymore. Always rapping about the guns and all this other stuff, like screaming the mic, like the SOB sound.
Right.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like listening. I like listening to it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing anybody that's on that, but
Right.
I think it's just like everybody has to reach out and be different.
Right. Hey,
So
what are your views on what are your views on J. Cole? You like J. Cole?
I like J Cole.
I
He's
feel like
actually
he raps
another.
about the real.
Yeah, he's another guy actually was one of my influences getting started. Actually, so the main guy, this is crazy. Nobody really talks about him. I don't know if you know about him, but Lecrae was one of the guys who actually kind of inspired me to get into music. He's like another J. Cole, like Kendrick Lamar artist. I think looking in this story, I first heard of him in 2014, 2015. He was like in the Marines or something crazy like that. And he came out like doing gospel rap. He was trying to do that, but then I was like, at first I was like, okay, it's cool. I'm not hating on God, but it was kind of like it's kind of corny. Um,
Right.
but he got more into like how J. Cole and them are. But that's why I said like Kendrick Lamar is like one of my influences. That's my favorite artist of all time. Aside from Nipsey. And I feel like if you put rappers in a category together, you definitely got to put Cole and Kendrick right there.
Absolutely.
I would say like those two are like it's a real controversial topic, but I would say those two are like our modern day Big and Pac.
Right. Yeah. I agree, bro. I agree. Hey,
Of course,
one go for it. No,
but
go for it. Take it.
oh yeah, I
Take it.
was gonna say, of course, like Drake too. I'm not like a super huge Drake, but of course, everybody listens to Drake. He's another guy I look at as far as like being versatile and always doing something different, like being open to having different sounds in his music and rapping over different kinds of beats and stuff. So that's something I always look to do or try to search for in my music because you never, I feel like, want to, I would say you want to keep a balance, but you don't want to really stay like in the same category, stay in the same boat. You always, I feel like, want to try something new as far as being an artist. And I always tell other friends of mine, are artists as well, that want to get into making music or that do make music and they feel like they're in some kind of creative block. You know, it's like, well, why don't you go try this? Like, try making this type of music or this sound. Like, you never know how you might like it or how someone else might like it. You know, just try it out.
Absolutely, brother. Hey, one thing I wanted to touch on too. Shoot, I mean, like back to what you were saying a little earlier about that high school. I think it was the high school football game, right?
Right.
And like you guys were you and your boys, you guys were at the game. You guys were doing your little deal with the whole freestyle and whatever.
Hmm.
Um, I mean that takes a lot, low key. That takes a lot, getting out of your comfort zone.
Hmm.
Just like dancing too. Like I mean, if you're in a group of people or whatever, a crowd or whatever, and they're like go dance or whatever, you know what I mean? Unless you got some
Hmm.
alcohol in you, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
It's different. So stepping out of that comfort zone, like how was that for you? Were you like, just whatever? I'm gonna just do it. Was it like, was music something that you had in the back of your head when you like while you're like kind of in your high school years when you're still playing ball and stuff? But you're kind of unsure. You just didn't know, like, you know what I mean. But
Hmm.
once you had the opportunity, you took advantage of it. But I mean, like I said, stepping out of your comfort zone. How was that? How was that for you?
At the time, being the moment, I really wasn't nervous because everybody was having fun with it. It was like people who also knew didn't rap, didn't make music. We were just doing it just to have fun. But as I got more into it, really going to the studio, being around people, um, that's when you have to learn to become comfortable because like I said, everyone has that stage fright. So like my first time being there at that studio was it was me, my boy JT, my boy Steven, um, big homie. His name is Marcel. He used to run all the studios down at the at like one of the little youth centers for us downtown. Um, and like a couple of their other homies. And we were like all in a room. It was probably like 12 of us. It was like this little small studio space. And they threw on a beat and the homie said was like, yeah, so this is just something we do. Like you gotta do it, bro, when you come through, whether you rap or not. Like, it's just, it's more about having fun, it's not, they were like, you don't gotta be serious with it. You don't have to be, Lil Wayne on the beat, you ain't gotta go in
Right.
crazy, just try it out. But I was like, in my mindset, like, well, if I want to do music, like I gotta impress these guys. So like I said, they gave me like 2 minutes to write it down. And I went in there. I was nervous when it came out, but as I've been going, like I started out recording there, then we used to get in like the it was my other homie. His name was Micah, Micah Foot. He went to Clovis North. Um, I
Micah
got
Foot.
introduced. Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
yeah. He made music too. So he used to engineer for us. He was producing all that. He was younger than us too. I was like 17 at the time. I think he was like 15, 16. I was 17 going on 18. And even then, because I knew like the couple guys that I was around were already into music, they had been rapping for years. Um, these are guys that were like going off the top, like just right off, like they don't need a pen and paper, just going in. And so obviously seeing that is a bit discomforting. Um, and you're kind of like thinking at the time, like, I'm like, damn, like this ain't for me. Like I can't go off the top, like I can't rap like right off the top of my head. But as you get into it and you go more, you start to learn and realize like, damn, like a lot of these dudes can't, like watching some of these guys like I think I even saw one when Drake, like they told him to freestyle off the top and Drake pulled out the phone and was reading off the phone. I'm like, oh, if Drake's doing it, and Drake is, he's been on top, he's been the best rapper out for like the past decade. So
Oh yeah.
I'm like, all right, and then you start learning like watching like the BET ciphers and stuff, like again seeing Kendrick, I'm like, damn, like I can't go off the top like that. And then you kind of more people that are gonna tell you like, bro, like all that stuff was like, recorded, like pre-rehearsed, like um So being like when I first got to it, it was like, everything was baby steps coming to where I'm at now. And like now, bro, I think just my confidence level, like you can put me in the studio with Kanye, who is probably one of the biggest hard asses in the industry, just seeing videos and seeing how this dude spazzes out. But I feel like I would just still be in my comfort zone because like now it's like it becomes second nature. Like I put the
Right.
headphones on and I get going, bro. Like I said, first time we went to LA to Nick's studio because he's in a big studio now. He had an internship with this place called Neighborhood Watch, and the studio he was at, they had like NBA YoungBoy in there like a couple of weeks prior, and they shot a music video. I know Nick told me he's already worked with Polo G and G Herbo, but
Wow.
I think so. I was proud of him. He got that studio, which is where I'm supposed to go back in a couple of weeks. But when I went, bro, I brought like it was me, my cameraman Ponzi, another friend of mine who's an artist. He goes by the name of Baby Saint. Um, he's from Fresno. He's actually up in Sacramento though right now. Continuing school, finishing up that. So shout out to him. Getting his education first. And
Right.
just like a few other homies. And like whole time I'm recording, like, cause this is my first time being in like a real studio. Like I'm always used to recording like out the garage. Like, I don't care where it's at. Like, as long as I can have Nick mixing it for me and making me sound right, or this guy has like the right mic and the right software, then like I'll record anywhere. I'll go stand in the middle of the street right now and record if I got to.
Right.
But yeah, we had like 20 dudes up in the studio, man. And I look out the window, man. All these niggas is drinking and smoking and partying. And I'm still like, when it's time to record, I'm like, I'm like, hey, put me on the mic. Like, yo, hear me? Like, all right, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. Like, it's time to go. Like, I got to work right now. So that's kind of like, just being there now, like trying to get more serious with it. I've been investing in myself more as far as putting money into my career. Um, because obviously with anything that you're trying to do, especially anything that involves any kind of business, you always got to put money in, make money back. So,
Absolutely.
um, I've been getting way more serious with it, trying to connect with bigger artists, even if it's just finding out just the price for a feature, like getting that, like, okay, like I'll get back to you, like when I find out a way to get that money. 'Cause like I said, I've been out of work for a couple months now with the whole UPS thing being gone, and even before that, I was out for like 9 months just with COVID. I was an after school tutor, uh, not really a tutor, it was more like a PE coach,
Right.
at Lawless Elementary. I was supposed to do like the black football coaching thing this year.
Are you
Then
employed
just
right
like
now?
am I what?
Are you employed right now? Are you working right now or no?
No, not right now. I've
Hey,
been.
bro, you should get on. You should just get on DoorDash
No, I
for.
do that. Yeah, I've
Oh,
been
you
doing it
do.
for like a
Okay.
year. Yeah, I just did it
Okay.
yesterday. That's another thing too. Like with other artists, I always encourage them. Like if you don't really have the money doing it, of course, like you always like anybody else in the industry, like people that I met, they will tell you, like if you're really a nobody in the game right now, you always got to have a source of income. So it's like I always tell people like don't be embarrassed to have a job, bro. Anyway, you got to hustle and get it. Then I respect you in my eyes. So I've been going out DoorDash and I've been doing actually just going back to it. I got locked up when I was 19 doing some very stupid stuff with some friends out of town. And it like I got hit with like a bunch of felony charges. And they actually ended up getting dropped to misdemeanors. And just yesterday morning, or was it yesterday, 2 days ago, Becca? My mom had sent me something. She over there asleep.
Yeah.
That's my girl. She over there. But the lawyer, finally, we got everything expunged, and they sent it up to like SAC last month. So everything is clear, like going off the record now. So,
Hell yeah,
um,
nice, bro. That's
so
huge.
yeah, which is yeah, definitely, which is big for me because now I feel like I can go back out there and kind of start to get more jobs looking into. Because right now, that is my thing. Is trying to. I've actually been stuck between right now. Like, obviously I don't want to work. I'm like, do I want to work and go back to getting a job, or I'm like, are we kind of waiting on this thing with this artist we're supposed to record with in a couple of weeks and see how that works out? Because I'm like, you never know if he might mess with us or anything like that. I mean, because we're paying him 5,000 to do a feature, a music video, and for him to post on his Instagram. And you should go look him up. Though. His name is Bino Rideau. I'll send you like his name.
Yeah, send me
It's
what
like
you said. Okay.
It's Bineaux. He kind of spells it like, like the Rideau, like the old in New Orleans how they kind of spell stuff.
Right. Yeah,
But
they're different.
dude used to. I don't think he was ever signed to Nip to like the All Money In label, but he did a mixtape with them. And then he had a couple songs. Dude like had songs with Dave East, with Meek Mill, Ty Dolla Sign. He just released like a music video a couple months ago with Young Thug. But he's like a big artist coming out the West Coast that I've been really like trying to link up with, and it was kind of actually easy to get in contact with him because I actually a few years ago, like when nobody even knew who this dude was, I like tagged him on Instagram and he seen it and reposted it. So I ended up like messaging him again. Uh, and he must have seen it because, like he didn't take forever to respond. Like, on Instagram, you have like the requested messages. So like, with big artists like that, they probably don't get to see everything that everyone sends them or, the fans tag them in. And I ended up hitting him up like 2, 3 weeks ago. Was like, yo, bro, like I'm trying to get a feature in like a music video. Like, how much would that be to get you on both and for you to promote it on Instagram? Um, and he was like 5,000. And I was honestly kind of shocked because I thought it was gonna be more. I thought it was like, especially the credits this guy has. And that he just dropped a song with Young Thug a couple months ago and was, messing with Nip. I was expecting something crazy like 15, 20,000. So I was like, like 5,000 is cool. And the only reason I did that because one of my bros he's been asking me for like a year, 2 years, like, bro, like, who do you want to feature? Like, I help you out, like, um, because I just got some homies that, they getting money right now. So he was like, I'll help you out, bro. Like, don't trip. And I was always like, nah, like, it's good. Like, like, I was like, I don't want to I'm not the type of person to take handouts or take money from people. And so I
Right.
always felt uncomfortable. But I finally was like, you know what? Like, fuck it, bro. Like, let's do it. Like, if you want to help me out, then, you can help me out. So we ended up doing that. So I put some of my money, and my manager Nico put some money down for me too, and then two of the other homies, and then there's also another artist I had featured on the song from Compton. His name is City Baby. He was living out here in Fresno. It's my boy Tori. Um, so we all just kind of came together, put some money. So it's cool. It always feels good when you have people behind you that support you and trying to help push to what you're doing. Especially like I said, like right now, like I'm in go mode. Like the momentum I have, I'm trying to keep it up right now.
Right.
I've been in contact with a woman from Power 106 in LA named Kalisha Pereira. We're doing like a little promo campaign thing right now, and she works there. She's worked for like No Jumper with Adam 22. She has like all these big connects. She just hit me the other day. Was like, we just
Amen.
paid her 1,500. She tried to give me again. She was like, hey, like I can get you on BET if you want your music video on there. I'm like, yeah, yeah, like okay, what's up with that? She was like, yeah, just it's 5,000, but I can get you for 2,500. I'm like, oh, like okay, like hold on, because now like I'm spending too much money. Like I got other stuff to spend on, so that I'm trying to put the money towards. Also, I put a bunch of my money on the Dogecoin, bro. I think I put
how
like
how was
I want
that
to say
for you, bro?
it's cool. It's cool. One of my buddies was into the forex thing. Um,
Oh yeah.
which we tease him about it because he would try to get us on there. Was like it's only $500 to put down. He did it back like right before quarantine happened, like around this time last year. We always mess with him like, so how much money have you made back? And he ain't made none, as far as I know. So I always
Right.
tease him, call it forex, but at the same time, it's like I don't knock other people's hustle, what they believe in. And he actually is very intelligent. He has a lot of knowledge. He's helped me kind of understand more of getting into the stock market and like what to choose, what to pick, how to really read like what stock is gonna blow up next, or he's always telling me like, if you see something different, like it's doing good for so long, like go buy it, bro, like because it's gonna go back
Right.
up. So I put my money into that. I think I want to say overall I put like $600, and right now I'm at like
Right.
1,700. So it's went up some. I was at one point I was at like 25, and then it dropped again. So that's when I was like, bro, like I'm pulling my money out. But it's just a patience thing. But
Hey.
I'm like,
Oh
what's
no,
up?
go for it. Sorry, sorry.
Oh
No,
yeah,
keep
no,
keep going.
it's all good. So and like I said, I'm turning 24 in May. So I'm like at this age now, I'm like, I feel like I got to start finding stuff to invest my money in and put it towards. Besides just kind of spending it on my rap career, because like I said, that's always not a guaranteed thing, which is also why I still for now want to find uh, like a really good job, a career thing. I was trying to get in with UPS heavy because I know that'd be a good career, but at the same time, I'm also like a realist, so I know that like yeah, I'm doing with music, but I know nothing is really guaranteed except you're born and you die. So
The thing is though, bro, if you like you're very passionate about what you do, bro. Don't let anything stop you. Obviously, you already know.
mhm.
Um,
Right,
it may take it. Shoot, it may happen tomorrow. You never know. Young Thug may reach out to you tomorrow. You never know.
right.
Um, it's a process, especially with something like you love. It takes time. You know what I mean? Like I was telling my girl the other day, I was like, man, I started these podcasts in December,
Hmm.
and mainly what my page is about. I interview people that have been incarcerated, um, because I
Okay,
find it interesting. I study criminology at Chico right now, and
okay,
I've always kind of wondered about the criminal mind, whatever. But I mainly fight for prison reform and injustice within the criminal justice system, because
okay.
I feel like, especially like I'd say our people, like the minority, black people, whatever, even Mexican people, all the minorities, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, they get the max sentence. They get the max sentence for little petty ass crimes. You know what I mean?
Really? Oh
And I
yeah,
feel
for
like
sure.
right, and I
Definitely.
feel like these people need their voices heard. But like, anyways, that's something. I started that in December, and I'm like, damn, like I thought this would pop off because I'll use TikTok and I'll throw like little parts and stuff in
Hmm.
there, because you never know, may hit a couple views, whatever.
Right.
Um, my I think my most views was like 6,000, whatever. But other than that, it's been like kind of mellow. But it's just like a process. I keep telling myself, and she told me that too. It's like it's just a process. It's something that you love and you're passionate about. Just keep, you never know. It can happen tomorrow, or you never know. Um,
Yeah.
but like you
Yeah.
mentioned, how you're a realist too. Like I can relate to that as well. But
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, because with my thing, I'll get into it a little bit. 'Cause like I said, especially if the career does take off, eventually, people always find out info like about a person's life before. Um, yeah, my thing was when I was younger, bro, I just really got into the wrong crowd, so I was doing a lot of dumb shit, and my thing was I was unfortunately I was like a lost minded kid. I was going and breaking in the houses a lot, and I had stopped for a little while, but we knew like what we were going out of town for. Um, and so I was in Santa Barbara County. I was out there in the IV. We went out there for like the Utopia weekend, just having fun. And we ended up it was like late night. We were actually I was walking around partying and stuff, like going house to house. I don't know if you ever been. I know Chico is a big party squad. I've never been
yeah,
to Chico, but Santa Barbara is
it's similar.
pretty similar. Um, and we were walking down the street one night, and we had split up. There was like 10 of us, and obviously, we're all us being all black. Um, me, believe it or not, I have people who don't believe it. I always get asked questions with my races, but so a couple of the homies had split up. They went this way. We went this way. We're like, because there was already police going out. We just felt for some reason they were gonna mess with us. At this time we hadn't done anything out there. We literally were just partying, just chilling. And so as we were walking, three of them had went that way, and like five of us had went this way. And so like we already see a cop like coming down the street. He's like flashing like the light on the car at us, like because we were like walking out with our shirts off and stuff. It's hot. It's like 2 in the morning. It's like April, May, so it's getting close to the summer. But in Cali, it's damn near summer every day.
Right.
Um, and so there was this house right there. Um, one of the guys sees it, was like, "Hey, like let's just go in there real quick." And I'm like, "Nah," like I was like, "Nah, bro, like come on, let's just go," because like the cops already messing with this. This is literally the night or the early morning of Easter. Because like I said, it was 2 in the morning. It was Sunday. It was Easter Day in 2017, and one of the dudes is like, "Come on, like let's go up in there." So I'm like, "Nah, like come on, bro, like we trying to already jump back on the road so we can be back in Fresno by like 6 a.m. or something like that." And so he was like, "All right, like, fuck it, I'm about to go in there real quick, bro. Like just wait for me." So three of us we waited. The other two were like, they're like, "Bro, like we ain't got time to wait." My stupid ass thinking I was slick. I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna just go in there with them real quick." Went in there. Uh, I literally had like an Xbox remote. That was all I grabbed, and I literally just ran out with it. I'm like going walking down this alley. I look back thinking that dude is with me. He wasn't with me. Again, being stupid. I was 19. I go walk back up in there to go find him, and he's like, dude is like on all fours, like crawling around, like looking under like the beds, and like no one was home, which is also, but doing like that is dangerous and it's stupid because that's the easy way to get shot and lose your life.
Right.
Going into someone's house like that. But obviously, like I said at the time, I wasn't thinking of it because, when you're young like that, then you may get around a certain crowd or group of people, and then all of a sudden, like y'all feel invincible just being together, and you're not really thinking about any consequences or anything like that. So, um, we finally come out. I get dude. I'm like, come on, let's go. Like, and some reason, bro, we end up walking back towards the way we were coming from, where we all split up at. We end up walking back towards this long ass street. There was like a park right there, and next to the park was the alley that I had first went up. We were walking fast. For some reason, we did not see it at all, but something just told me like to look back, and I looked back, and about like 50 yards back, I see like a dark figure in a flashlight, like coming out of that house, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, hey, was somebody home? And cause we left the sliding door open, like, cause I didn't really touch anything other than what I had grabbed, and so I was like, cause we gonna do this, I don't want to get my fingerprints everywhere. So we look back, there was like a dark figure with a flashlight, and then I just kind of look forward. I kind of tell dude I was with, I'm like, hey, bro, like, was there someone home? He looks back, and he was like, oh shit, and immediately like kind of we start speeding up, and I look back again, and I hear like, stop, like. Stop. And I look, and this dude was like full sprint next. And I know dude is like 20 yards behind me. He's 10 yards behind me. And as soon as I look back, other dude already took off. Like he dropped everything, took off running. And then as soon as I turned around to run, it was like a movie, but there was already like 5 chef cars. They had the guns pointed at me and everything already. So obviously, like I instantly just like stand there and I'm like, fuck, like I'm going to jail. And there was like these other girls. It was in front of like some girl's house. There be a bunch of there were it was like a bunch of other black girls in there too, and they immediately like heard of the commotion. Everybody's coming outside and stuff, seeing what's going on, and they obviously don't know what's going on. I guess they could say like for my safety, they immediately started recording and like, what did he do? What did he do? So the cop was like, all right, like freeze, like turn around, like put your hands up. And why he says that, I didn't think about it until literally like a year later. But I had the Xbox remote like right here in my jacket pocket. And the
Oh
cop was like,
snap.
turn around. So I immediately, as soon as I turn around, I go like that and I just drop it though. And I thought like a year later, I'm like, bro, I could have got shot for that because obviously cops, I'm like, he could have thought that was a gun, and luckily he didn't, but he ended up, I just got on the ground and like the whole time, like I just feel like the gun like on the back of my neck, and he has like his knee like on my back and everything, and we ended up getting booked in for the night. I was there for like a day and a half. None of my friends knew where we were because they, like I said, the other ones they were smart and they just kept walking, which is why I should have
Right.
went with. And but like I said, it was just like a thing, like just being like the rush of the moment and stuff, like thinking I was gonna get away with it, and everything like finally caught up to me back to what I was doing back here in Fresno and getting into trouble and everything. And yes, we just got booked for the night. It was like a day and a half. Obviously, I had to call my parents. I didn't want to call my dad, so I called my mom, told her, and ended up coming to bailing me out. And we had to fight the case. But even for that one little Xbox remote, back to it, they were trying to hit me with like 25 years for that at first. And they were trying to pin, they knew we weren't from there. They knew that we were from Fresno. They seen the IDs and everything. And,
Right.
they were asking questions about everything else going on. And they ended up trying to pin like 7 other robberies and home invasions on us that had happened like weeks prior. And I'm like, bro, like we literally came out here like yesterday. I'm like, we were only out here for a day. I'm like, you guys know we're not from here, so how would that be possible for us to break into other households? We're in Fresno. Like this is my first time ever coming out here. Like I came out here for Deltopia just to party, and yeah, they were trying to they were trying to pin just a bunch of bullshit on me. They tried to hit me with like 6 or 7 different felonies. Um, we like fought it for like a whole entire like year and a half, almost two. Finally, like the last minute when I was just like, you know what, like I'm gonna have to take the felonies. I tried to see if I can drop it if there was any way. Um, they were like, no, like, they wanted to put me like on they were trying to talk about like give me like 6 months, and put me like on house arrest for like 2 or 3 years. And then I for some reason we had like walked out and the lawyer was like, hey, like, you know what, like, they said like it was your first offense. I was able to talk him down, like, I told him like you would do community service. I ended up doing 50 hours community service, and and just like I just had like regular probation. Like it was informal. I only checked in with the probation officer like twice, and then haven't heard from him. And then since then, like I've been having my head on straight, like trying to focus more on music. Like I said, I got into the boxing thing. I've been working like job to job. I ended up going and working. I think ever since that happened, I worked at like Best Buy, FedEx. I worked for my uncle who was like, it's Linkus. He's like an H&R or HR for them. He's an HR for them. Um, like a little security company that works with Xfinity and Comcast. It was like a little underpaid job because my uncle was like the HR there. And then the majority of that time, because all these jobs, like, I didn't last that long. I ended up quitting. Like, nah, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. The Best Buy thing was just seasonal, and I got hired at Lowe's in River Park. I worked there for like 2 years. I hated it. I finally ended up quitting because it was just a bunch of bullshit. Being there, you putting up with a bunch of racist people. Everybody's
Oh
walking in,
yeah.
with like the Trump shirts, the Trump hats.
Hmm.
You tell some people like, "Hey, how you doing, sir? How you doing today?" They won't even say nothing back to you. They just
Right.
look at you. Um, there wasn't too many of us working there either. Like, uh, there was only like 3 or 4 black people working there. That was it. Um, I had like walk in one time. The manager had the nerve to say in front of me that all Muslims were terrorists. That Colin Kaepernick was influenced because I'm a Niner fan, so he was like, yeah, like Colin Kaepernick was influenced by the Muslims and all this other stuff. And I finally got fed up with working there and just dealing with the customers. I remember like my last day, I was ready to punch a customer because he tried to get smart with me and asked why a leaf blower didn't have like the strap, the hold on strap. And I told him, I was like, sir, if you want a leaf blower with the strap, you have to get the backpack ones. And he's just trying to get smart. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to hold it then, dumbass? And I
He
told him
said
like, bro,
that? No way.
he called me on my last day. So I'm like, I'm being at my last day, and I'm like, hold on, bro. So I was like, you can hold it however the fuck you want. I said, you can hold it like a machine gun, like a guitar, like a golf club. I said, quite frankly, I don't care. I said, because I'm not the one spending money on it. And then he tried to pull reverse and was like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to go tell your manager. He
Yeah.
ended up going to tell another employee that wasn't the manager. This other old white dude named Bud, who that was my guy right there. He was funny. He was like 84 years old, still kicking. And when the customer tells him like that I was talking back to him, dude, but was like, well, what'd you say to piss him off? And then dude just got
Yeah.
mad and walked out. So, that was a fun way to end my last day there. That was like also the last time I said I was gonna work any kind of retail job or like anything with like food where I gotta just deal with customers and because a lot of people they've never worked those kind of jobs. So when they go into places like Target or Walmart or to a fast food joint, they feel like they can talk to people however they want and
Right.
be however rude they need to be to them. So I always keep in consideration like how my time was working at a retail job whenever I go into like a Walmart or McDonald's. I'm always like super patient, because I understand there can be other stuff going
Hmm.
on or they're probably dealing with another customer who wants to be a hard ass.
Under,
So
right.
just doing
Under,
that,
un, right.
go
I was
ahead.
about to say, especially dude, those people like, man, some of those people, they're like what, 22, 24 years old. They got a full family and like
Right,
they're
yeah.
working at Walmart, like, you know what I mean, trying to work full time and go to school. Like
Hmm.
you gotta respect those people. I mean, And like how you mentioned how that dude, he doesn't understand at all. He's probably had stuff handed to him, and obviously, white privilege is a thing.
Right.
Back in his time, it was handouts,
Right.
um, but it's crazy because if you actually look deeper into it, I mean, the people that have, you know, the people that have grown up with family issue, whatever,
Mhm.
has that have dealt with adversity throughout their whole life. They have their character is tremendous, bro, and those are the people who you want by your side. You know what I mean? Because it's
Right.
crazy. Not to cut you off or anything, my bad. But
Yeah.
I was coming home from SAC. This was probably about 2 years ago when I was up at Chico. I was taking the bus from Fresno to Chico, or the
Mhm.
bus and train, whatever. And these inmates or these people that got out of, I think it was jail. Yeah, there was. I think it was jail or prison. I'm not too sure. I think it's prison. They had their bags. They're all nice, ironed up clothes, creased up.
Mhm.
And this person next to me, this white lady, she like, I was looking at her just to see what the reaction was, and she just kind of like was like disgusted, kind of in a way, and kind of like frightened. And she actually moved back in the back of the bus. And to my head, I'm like, if you actually understand what these people go through, yeah, they did a crime, they do the crime, do the
The
crime, do the
crime,
time,
do the
whatever.
time.
um, these people are very like intelligent, and I mean, they may have been misheard when they're younger, whatever, and they got the max time, and I mean they didn't deserve it, whatever. But those people are still people, and they deserve a second chance. Um,
Mhm.
and I feel like a lot of society, especially River Park area, like Lowe's, especially, yeah,
Yeah,
those
that
type of
whole
people coming
northeast
in.
area.
Right. You have those 65, 70-year-old dudes, that back in their time, it was a way. They wanted it a certain way, you know what I mean? But it's a different society now. We're moving into a different direction, and they're the
Right.
last generation to die off. And not die off, not I didn't want to sound harsh, but everything after that, a couple years or so will be a little bit better. But
Yeah, which is crazy is I got working at UPS. I got put right back in that area, like up there on Copper and everything, and like frying. So I was out there by like Clovis North, and even still then, like, cause it was a personal vehicle driver, what I was for UPS. So I was taking my own car driving out, and then I didn't have on like a full brown suit. All I had on was the vest, and so you would get crazy looks from all these people, cause out there is nothing but like uh the old white people, a lot of older Asian people, a lot of older uh Middle Eastern people. So they're just looking at me like super crazy, like who's this dude jumping out the car, like dropping off my packages. Some people that be walking by would see me and they would just stare at me like. Eventually, as time went on, they started knowing who I was. Like, okay, like he works for UPS. The driver that I was paired with, because we were always gonna be the driver at a certain spot. I meet him at that Rite Aid out there on Copper and Maple. Um, So we would meet, and he would even go around and tell him like, "Hey, if you see a guy riding around in a car, like in his car, and he just has on the vest, it's like he works with me, like he's UPS." So eventually, like it started getting better. But when you first out there, it's kind of like hey, like, it's kind of sketchy, like
yeah.
and even like
Oh yeah.
I got put, kind of more like in the areas like kind of like on the east side. I had one time, like well out there by Roosevelt High, and even then, like people still at you, but it's a whole different kind of look. Like they looking at you like, hey, homie,
Where you
like who are
from?
you? Like yeah, like where you
Yeah.
from? What you doing over here? Like like what you doing with like hopping up the car with that UPS vest? Like trying to break in? What you doing? It's like, bro, like I work with UPS. Like chill out. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it was funny, and then they were telling us like last year they used to have people on their bicycles, and they used to get the cops called on them because you like, how do you think that looks to somebody on a bike riding off with a bunch of people's packages? So
Mm.
it was cool though, man. Like I said, I enjoy working there. I don't mind it. It's just I am kind of picky about now where I work at after that whole Lowe's experience. So I'm a little bit bougie about that, but I mean, like I said, money is money. So
Hey, it is what it is though, bro. But once you make it, for real though, once you make it and when you make it,
mhm.
um, in the whole the rap and hip hop industry, um, you're gonna have a story to tell, bro. There's always a story to tell. You know what I mean?
Always,
It's gonna
man.
be a quite interesting one. You know what I mean? But just keep doing what you're doing, bro. Don't even. It's. I mean, it sucks. I was gonna ask you about that. Like getting into the industry. Like, is it hard? Like, you know how these like you're an athlete, and I was gonna ask. Like, I mean, it's like getting drafted, kind of. You know, getting picked
Right,
up out of. You know what I mean? You're trying to get to college, and you're trying to get picked up like after your sophomore year or whatever ASAP because you'll get more
right.
money. You know what I mean? And then your senior year, it's like crunch time.
Hmm.
Um, so how is that like? You know, trying to get in the industry. Like, is it about connections? How to get your foot in there? How does it roll?
Most definitely, it's always who you know, and if not that, how much money are you willing to put on yourself, to put up on yourself? Like, so it's obviously not like in a way it is like a sport. Like you're waiting for the scouts to come out and kind of check you out, see what you can do, and they approach you. Kind of more music is like the only way to really get someone to approach you was like you just dropping like stuff like everyone now is doing the TikToks or the Trillers, hoping to go viral on the internet, and then you hope and Drake just message you one day out of nowhere. There's always that, which is like a real that's like a super easy route. That's the route that everybody wishes they can take, that they can get. Kind of like the Lil Yachty, like Lil Yachty was like an overnight dude. Like where'd he come from? Um, and then kind of more, I feel like what the route I'm taking is more like kind of the original. Like my people would always tell me, like everyone that's like on my team always tell me, like even my parents, like you start getting on TikTok and Triller, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like I do, but in a way, I'm kind of like, and not to bash and would put anybody down, but I kind of find like the dancing thing, and I find it for me, I feel like it'd be corny if I did it. I don't know why. Um, like I said, I'm not a dancer. I got a cousin that dances. Like his biggest influence is Chris Brown. Um, like I said, like I mean, like I really don't want to call it corny, like because I don't want to offend anybody, but it's just more so it's not for me. Like I feel like,
Right,
but it's always like I've tried it. I put it up, but like I said, I'm not the type of person to do that. I'd rather take the more uh technical route and kind of just like hit people
you,
up. I'd rather just put the money up on myself and like try to
right,
get in with these connections, because like when people see you're willing enough to put money, and then I feel like when people hear my music, people always surprised of how good it is. And I'm like, hopefully like they'll mess with me, or like the next time I try to work with them, they come down on a discount, which
right,
is kind of how most stuff has worked for me for the connects that I do have. And like I spend money with producers, with certain engineers, or when I'm in LA and they end up they're like, hey, like bro, I message you, bro, like you got a dope sound. Like I try to always stay humble. um of course though, never want to be someone that's like getting pushed around though, of course.
right,
But I feel like it's always about being professional and being humble, and that'll eventually lead you somewhere. You're gonna get something with that. But I don't know. I might try the TikTok route, something like that. I like to
right.
clown and
No,
joke around and make jokes though too. So I used to do acting when I was little, so I might want to get back into that sooner or later.
hey, there you
You
go.
know,
Shoot. You like? You follow Drewski,
but yeah, hell yeah, bro, yeah, for sure. That's when I think that's probably the funniest dude on the internet right now.
bro? Let me tell you something, bro. He's something else, bro. I know. I follow him on his YouTube, and he comes
Hmm.
out with these like everyday like videos. He's got his squad, and he's got his boys. I think he actually bought him a crib. That was kind of cool. He bought him a
Right,
crib, and they all stay at the crib. They don't got to pay nothing, and they just make videos every day, and they just kick back. You can tell like it's real. It's not fake. You know what I
right.
mean? And how you were talking about not to bash anyone either, like um, not to bash any rappers or anything, but like the whole TikTok deal, how you're like, yeah, using your music to for people to dance and like throwing these little clips out there and stuff,
Hmm.
but you want to make it for you on the other end, you want to make it official, you know what I mean? Like you want to be
Right.
100%, like it's not like what's the word? It's not like you want it to be, I don't know, you just want it to be real, you know what I mean?
Like
So
more like organic. Yeah, like
real type deal, and you don't want it to be put through like a social media, like,
which is
oh,
always my thing.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
I don't want to be like. I think yeah, my thing is I don't want to be known for being on TikTok and stuff because then it's like I
right,
feel like also that now I have to keep up with that because it's like what people are not gonna expect from you is to get on TikTok and like I always feel like if I want to be known for anything, it's for my music, of course. Like
right.
like not for anything negative or anything else. Like like I don't know. Just music
You're
is
a
my thing,
realist.
so
I
that's
like how you said. Right, you're a realist for sure. That's what's up.
yeah.
Um, damn, bro, that's crazy. Um, now I don't want to take up too much of your time. It's already been an hour. I know you're like, damn, bro. When
Nah,
is he gonna
bro.
be off?
I feel like I've been doing most of the talking. Someone he probably like, damn, this nigga talk so much, but
You're chilling. I like it when my guests they spill it.
yeah.
Um, but when you get, I got two things for you.
Hmm.
When you get to where you want to be with music, because you are gonna make it. Because I can tell you're just self driven and you're humbled, very humbled, and you're extremely motivated. Once you make it, how are you going to use your platform to inspire others, especially because right now I know you have a huge supporting base, my bad, supporting base, and you have those that look up to you, especially like the younger generation. They're going to be following you like your everyday, like, you know what I mean? They're just going to be following up on you, whatever. How are you going to
Hmm.
use your platform to inspire the youth and those trying to make it in the industry once you make it and when you make it?
I think the main thing would always be, just trying to stay positive, and like I said, the main thing like I can only do is try to stay real. Like one thing, of course, like I've always dreamed about doing, is having money, and like you see these people on YouTube that go and they're able to give back to like their parents, to their families. That's like the one thing I've always wanted to do is be able to, put my parents in like a big house in this because they've always been there for me. My parents they sacrificed a lot for me. Uh, so I think just always remaining humble. Obviously, like my main thing is, I always tell people to like push towards what you do no matter what. Because when I first started it, um, obviously my parents they weren't always supportive of the music thing. My mom was always so like driven on trying to get me to be in school. I think as I got older, she kind of realized like I'm not the school type. My dad was a Navy guy. He's always grown up. He's always tried to tell me because I don't have any siblings. I'm an only child. He's always tried to tell me or my other cousins, like, hey, like y'all should go to the Navy, go to the military. It's something that was in the back of my head. I actually took my ASVAB in high school and I passed, but I was like, let me try out the school thing. And my other thing is I've always had this fear of if I leave and go do that, then like I won't be able to stay up to date with my music, or I feel like I might lose the momentum that I have on it right now. Um, but uh, I definitely I definitely want to find different ways to inspire people. Obviously that's the other main thing. It's not always about the fame and the money. It's also like just because I have just a real passion for it. I want to be able to use my voice to help others, to make others hear stuff, to use your voice to speak out against, stuff like all the injustice, everything that's been going on like the past year. Um, you know, Finally be able to break free from this Trump era.
Yeah.
I, and I had a crazy idea for a song that I just dropped for a video with that was probably gonna piss a lot of Trump supporters off.
So
I
what?
ain't
Do
really.
it. Spill that out. You know?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna say what it is because we still working on getting that video done here in a couple weeks.
Right.
But my main thing is always just if anybody that's gonna watch this, just do what you want. Like fuck what other people tell you, because like I said, my parents weren't supportive of it at first, and now like even my girl, she'll say like like oh, I see your mom, like your mom's always playing music. Now my cousins, I was with my cousins yesterday, and they were like, yeah, we went over one day when you were gone out and about. We came inside and your mom was blasting your music. Or, my dad will go now and, cousins, family members I haven't seen in a long time, or, I got a family that's incarcerated, he'll always show them my music, show them what I'm doing. Um, so it definitely feels good when you have your family behind you more than anything. Because, if you got family, then it's like you really don't
It's
need
a
anything
wrap
else as long as you got them. Yeah.
for
So,
sure.
And obviously, like I said, even like some homeboys that I got that just, they help me with money. So it's like I definitely for sure, like, when all this finally falls into place and everything breaks through, like, I definitely got to pay them back for everything. And, everybody that's just supported me, that's been there with me since day one. Um, but definitely like my message to anybody would just do what you want, whether it's rapping, you want to play sports, you want to be a chef, or artist, you want to go to school, study for something like with you, the criminology stuff, want to be a cop. Um, Even to, like younger black kids, like just because everything that's going on now, like we need more black cops definitely in our communities.
Right.
And if that's what you want to do, you want to just go do it. Shit, if you want to go be the next Steve-O, go for it. I'm not knocking it. I ain't knocking no one's hustle. So,
Right.
always do what you want to do, because, no matter what, you're always going to get criticized for everything. There's always that one person, you know, out of every 100 people that's always going to have something to say and disagree with what you're
But
doing or
that's what
feel some
keeps you
kind of way
pushing
about it.
though. Right.
Exactly, man. To me, those are just fans with opinions. That's what I call the haters.
Right. Absolutely, bro. Hey, I was gonna ask you too. Is it all right if I use because I interview some I interview I have once before. I don't know if you know him. Hey Tony, that Hey Tony TV kid dude on TikTok. He's like
No,
well
I don't
known.
know.
He's a comedian. He has like 1.4 mil. I interviewed him,
Hmm.
and I usually post it on my Instagram, like a picture of us right now, and then I'll
Yeah.
have like a little caption about it, and then I'll like put music in there.
Hmm.
But one of these local rappers, K Boom, and I've been using some of his music. And Celis, I used two times I used part of his music. I'm gonna is if it's all right, I was gonna use a part of your clip on Spotify or whatever because that's the only I have.
Bro, yeah,
And
use whatever you want, bro. I ain't got
right,
no
because
problem with it.
then these people, the people I interview that have pretty wide fan base, they'll retweet it and they're like, "Oh, where'd that song come? Oh, that song, kind of catchy, whatever." And then they look you up and then they follow you, give you a page. So that's supportive as well. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's why I like interviewing rappers and stuff.
Hmm.
But you're only the second one. I'm not sure if you know him, K Boomin in
I've heard of him.
Fresno.
Yeah, I for sure heard of him. Yeah, he nice.
Yeah, he's good. He's I actually went to school with him in high school.
Okay.
He's a cool ass dude. He has like that raspy voice that people like to, I don't know, it's kind of engaging kind of, and his
Hmm.
flow's kind of nasty too. I like it. But
Yeah, I've
yeah,
heard of
I'm
him.
gonna use right. I'm gonna use some one of the clips, one of your songs for the
Go
thing if
ahead,
that's
bro.
all right with you.
Yeah.
Even on I think maybe we'll see on TikTok too. I'll put it in the background if
Okay.
just as the little backsplash. But one last thing, if you wanted to talk about your album real quick or about your album real quick, that it was your album right that just dropped.
Oh, what I just dropped right now was I've been dropping singles. We more
Oh,
so
the
been
single.
focused on the singles, but right now I'm working with my manager is also my producer. He goes by my Lord Nico. You know who Sean F is?
Yeah,
You heard
yeah,
of him?
yeah.
So he is like one of Sean F's producers. They all got in contact. So my producer, he's produced for guys like Blueface from Mozzie, like SOB, a bunch of different people. We kind of got in contact like I want to say late 2018 or 2019, around when TNO was doing music and
You
stuff, and
know.
before they broke
Hmm.
up and stuff. So that's kind of how I met all those guys. But I've been working with him and my other boy. His name is Kyle Pattinson on Instagram. I usually tag him my stuff. I got you got Instagram too, right?
I got Instagram. Yeah, I
I
got
think we only
Instagram.
follow each other on Twitter right now. I was saying
Right.
because all my stuff is biseeya. Um,
Right.
I've been working with those two. So do you remember a group named Ash Treehouse a couple years ago from
Yeah,
Fresno?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Didn't they do the
So
parties
my
too? They hosted the parties
Yep,
sometime. Yeah.
My boy Kyle, and that artist Baby Saint. Those they were from my boy Baby Saint. His name's Wanya. He was from Ash Treehouse. He started it. He used to go by like DeCarlo, and then Kyle was their producer. But Kyle and Nico are the two producers I've been working on. There's another artist named Cyrus Criado, my boy Cam. Um, he's from San Diego. He's been out here in Fresno for some time now. We've all kind of just been locked in the studio, and like right now, an album isn't in the plan right now. But like I just said, I had like another interview last week. Like I said, it's no telling with that. You know, I might out of nowhere just drop an EP because I got a list of songs stacked up. I have enough right now, probably to drop like 2 or 3 albums.
Right.
Um, but right now we're more focused on putting out singles and music videos. But like I said, around sometime towards the end of the summer, I do plan on putting out an EP or something like that. I might just drop a full mixtape. I haven't really dropped a full tape. I've only dropped my first tape. It was called Sooner Than Later in 2018. I worked like 2 or 3 years on that tape, and hearing it now compared to like my music now, I listen to it. I'm like, damn, did I really work 2 or 3 years just to put this shit out? You know. Um, and I have 2 other EPs. Like I usually drop like 6 songs, so I'm probably gonna be doing that soon. Me and my boys actually talked about doing an EP, but as of right now, I'm just working with my guy Lord Nico and Kyle Pattinson. And now that I have 2 producers, instead of going and getting beats off of YouTube all the time,
Right.
because that always falls back into copyright issues. And sometimes a lot of these producers, we just had a producer who didn't want to sell us exclusive rights to the beats, but he was like, you can go pay $200 for the unlimited lease and you can get on the radio and stuff. So I was like, all right, whatever. I think that just comes down to because that dude, he worked with like Nipsey and Future and Wiz Khalifa, all these guys. So I feel like that just came down to me not being like really big or like a no-name artist right now as far as the industry thing.
Right.
So it's kind of like, it's just one of those things I always remember, like, it'll be in the back of my head. So, in a couple of years when you try to come work and like, remember you didn't want to sell me this beat right here?
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's all good, bro. I got my own 2 producers. We've been working like crazy right now, man. Like, we probably got like 5 or 6 new songs knocked out. Like I said, the big thing right now is I'm going to LA in about 2 weeks to work with this other artist. Also, man, you got to go look him up. Bino Rideau. He works with another guy
Right.
named Blast that's blown up out the West Coast right now. It's BLXST. Those are like 2 dudes I've been trying to get in contact with. So we got one right now. We're gonna see what the rest will be because my cameraman is also he used to shoot all of YBN Namir's videos,
Okay.
and he's like real close with Namir and like Corday and all these guys. I actually got to meet Namir and Corday when they came to Fresno a few years ago when YBN was out here. And my guy, he met them. He's from Fresno too, born and raised, but he met them through Xbox. He was real big on the GTA community back when they was doing that online. And he was like, next thing you know, like a couple years later, one of the songs blew up, and they came to Fresno on tour with SOB RBE, and he linked up with them for the first time in person, and then he kind of took off from there. So my cameraman, he has a big following, like 20,000. He always shoots for Rolling Loud every year. Like he's done some shoots for Double XL. And
Dang.
right now he gives me free videos, so that's why it's like I get free videos from him, and I get like free mixing stuff from Nick still. So it's little stuff like that you got to remember for when the time finally comes, when I finally blow up. Like, hey, like like y'all been rocking with me, y'all been getting free stuff from y'all. So those $20 gift cards to McDonald's. No, I'm playing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, those my guys though. But yeah, as far as the album thing, man, it's just kind of like not really planning an album, but definitely an EP will be dropping sometime in the summer or fall for sure.
There you go. Big. Hey, you got big moves, big plans. Big
Big move, big
moves,
plans,
big
man.
plans.
We trying to get to it, man, and put Fresno on the map.
Hey, you're doing it. Shoot, and you're only been like what? How long would you say you've actually been in? Like, started like taking rap serious and stuff.
Seriously, about 2 years, really, like the past year with COVID and everything going on, because I finally got linked up with my own producer who I knew had connections. Now I got an engineer, I got the cameraman. My cousin CJ, like a big part of it. He's like a big help too. He's like a dancer, but he's always that guy that always kind of tells me, like he actually used to DJ, but he's like the one always having studio sessions because he's the one that's gonna keep it real with me. He's not a yes man. He gonna tell me if something sucks, like bro, you better go re-record that. Like, I'm not gonna let you put that out. And obviously there's like a heated moment, but then it's like, would I rather him tell me now or would I rather go put this out and everybody on the internet is clowning you? So you always gotta keep
Right.
people like that around you in the studio that,
Yep.
tell you right there in the moment, like, bro, like you better not put this shit out.
Yeah.
Like, so
Absolutely. Absolutely. You
You
got to
know,
keep them close.
yeah. I appreciate you though, man. I really appreciate you for reaching out and having me on here.
No, bro. Hey, I appreciate you for even. I'm glad I reached out to you, bro. I just wanted to hear. I just wanted to hear your story and who you were actually about. You know what I mean? Because we do have mutual friends, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I reached out to you. But bro, just keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing. That's good. You always have a. That's good. It's normal to have a backup plan, but
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Like I said, you never know. Maybe tomorrow, Young Thug or whoever, Kendrick Lamar may hit your DMs, bro. He may see
Man,
one of your videos. You never
I
know.
might
Just
pass
keep
out.
pushing. just keep pushing, bro. I had the privilege to interview you, man. It's hands down an honor. You know what I mean? Because when you do make it, um, man, I'll be like, yeah, bro, I interviewed him. I know him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So blessings to you, brother. I appreciate you. I'm gonna follow you on. I'm gonna give you Instagram follow, and then I'm gonna look up that one dude. Another thing is I'm gonna use your music for my future videos as well,
Okay.
um, and get that popping too as well. But like I said, bro, I like it's truly an honor, bro, to have you on. I'm gonna edit this up, and then I should have it out in about a week or two.
Okay.
Just because there's so much stuff, especially with
Right.
school, and I got the interviews that I also got to edit. So I'd
Yeah,
say
handle.
2 weeks to the max, and I'll post the because I know you got Twitter too, so I'll post like
Mhm.
an about a minute clip on Twitter, and I'll tag you up on there. Instagram, I'll tag you. It'll be on my YouTube and then Instagram, uh, even Facebook. I
For
use
sure.
Facebook
For sure.
sometimes, but yeah, I'm gonna get that up there for you. Let's stay in contact, bro. If you need anything, I got you. Any questions, whatever, I got you. I know we just met, whatever, that don't matter. Um, just know I got you, bro.
Yeah, always, man. If you, hey, whenever you back in Fresno or if you in LA when I'm out there, man, we got to link up for sure, man. I
Let's
fuck
do
with
it,
you,
bro.
brother.
Hey, I'm available. Let's do it, brother.
All right, man. It's good
All right,
talking to
salute
you.
to
I
you. You
appreciate you.
too, brother. Thank you. Stay
Thank you.
blessed.